You might be surprised to learn that regularly eating the wrong types of bread can quietly weaken your body, disrupt your blood sugar, accelerate brain aging, and even harm your mobility, especially the strength and stability of your legs. This warning isn't just speculation. It's backed by numerous scientific studies, many of which have been published in journals focused on aging and have followed tens of thousands of older adults over the course of several years. At first glance, most breads seem harmless, comforting, familiar, even wholesome. But some types of bread can quietly trigger inflammation, damage small blood vessels in the lower limbs, and make walking more difficult over time. For those over 65, this can dramatically increase the risk of falls, still the leading cause of injury-related death among older adults. But don't worry, this article will give you a clear, detailed guide to making smarter choices. You'll learn about 3 types of bread you should eat every day to support your heart, sharpen your mind, and protect your strength, and 3 types of bread you should avoid at all costs if you want to stay steady on your feet and mentally clear. Be sure to stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal a surprising truth about a type of bread that looks healthy on the outside, but may be quietly undermining your strength from the inside without you realizing it. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 3 types of bread the elderly should eat every day. 1. 100% whole grain bread. The bread that builds strength from within. As we journey into the later chapters of life, the food we eat is no longer just about filling a plate. It becomes an act of self-preservation. Among the many choices lining the grocery store shelves, one stands out as a quiet but steadfast ally: 100% whole grain bread. It doesn't boast with bright packaging or sugary promises. Instead, it carries within each slice the steady power to nourish, to fortify, and to protect. Unlike refined white bread or cleverly marketed multigrain loaves that offer more illusion than substance, true 100% whole grain bread is made from the entire grain kernel, the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. This is crucial because in those 3 parts live the fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that the aging body needs most. Each slice becomes a delivery system for energy that doesn't spike and crash, but instead flows evenly, gently supporting the body's changing rhythm. For seniors, this kind of bread can be transformative. The fiber in whole grains helps regulate blood sugar, preventing the sharp rises and falls that so often lead to fatigue, brain fog, and even falls due to dizziness. It eases digestion, which becomes more sluggish with age, and supports a healthy gut, now known to be deeply tied to brain health, immunity, and even mood. But the benefits don't stop there. Whole grain bread is a quiet protector of the heart, loaded with nutrients like magnesium and potassium that help regulate blood pressure. It's rich in B vitamins, which play a key role in maintaining brain function, energy levels, and nerve health. For the legs that carry you, the hands that hold on to your independence, and the mind that stores decades of wisdom, these nutrients matter deeply. Too often, people over 65 are unknowingly consuming bread that looks brown but acts white, stripped of its essence, engineered for shelf life rather than life itself. That is why choosing bread labeled 100% whole grain is not a diet tip. It is a declaration that your health is worth protecting with every bite. When eaten regularly, this bread helps stabilize the body, strengthen digestion, and slow down the quiet march of chronic inflammation, an invisible enemy of aging well. It becomes a daily decision in favor of clarity, steadiness, and longevity. And yet, as powerful as whole grain bread may be, there is another kind of bread, earthier, fermented, and slightly tangy, that offers an entirely different kind of protection, one that reaches deep into the gut and radiates outward. Could this be the missing link to better absorption, stronger immunity, and even clearer thinking? Let's discover it next. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Oat bread. Gentle nourishment for the heart, muscles, and mind. In the quiet moments of reflection that often come with age, we begin to understand that strength is not just about muscle or endurance, it's about resilience. The ability to wake each day feeling balanced, mentally clear, and physically steady is a gift. And the foods we choose can either nourish that gift or slowly erode it. Among the many forgotten heroes of senior nutrition, oat bread stands tall, not for its flashiness, but for its quiet power to restore, to protect, and to heal. True oat bread, made with whole oats and often blended with whole wheat flour, is one of the most heart-loving choices a senior can make. It contains beta-glucan, a soluble fiber known to gently sweep excess cholesterol from the bloodstream, reducing the strain on an aging heart and allowing blood to flow more freely through arteries and veins that, over the decades, have borne life's wear and tear. With every slice, it helps the heart beat just a little easier. But its benefits stretch far beyond the heart. Oat bread is a steady friend to the digestive system, so often slowed or strained in later years. Its fiber content helps maintain regularity, but more than that, it feeds the beneficial bacteria in the gut, which are now understood to play a crucial role in immunity, energy, and even cognitive clarity. When the gut is well fed, the brain listens, and sharpness, mood, and focus improve. Rich in slow-releasing carbohydrates, oat bread provides a lasting energy that doesn't spike blood sugar or leave you feeling drained. For the aging body, this is essential. It means steadier steps, fewer dizzy spells, and the confidence to move through your day without fear of imbalance or sudden fatigue. Add to that a natural source of plant-based protein and minerals like iron and magnesium, and you begin to see how deeply this humble loaf supports vitality from within. And there's something else, something less tangible, but no less important. The comfort of oat bread, its warmth and softness, speaks to the emotional needs of aging. It soothes, it grounds, it nourishes not just the body, but the spirit, reminding us that health does not require deprivation, only wiser choices. But even this nurturing grain has a counterpart, one far older in method, with a character that's both tangy and bold. Made with time, fermentation, and nature's good bacteria, this next bread does something remarkable. It unlocks nutrients, soothes inflammation, and strengthens the gut in ways few other foods can. What is this ancient loaf that could be the key to aging with strength from the inside out? Let's explore it next. 3. Sourdough bread, the ancient loaf that heals from the inside out. There is something quietly profound about a food shaped by time, patience, and nature itself. Sourdough bread, crafted not by haste or shortcuts, but through the slow dance of natural fermentation, holds a kind of wisdom within its crust. For seniors navigating the complexities of aging, this humble, tangy loaf offers more than nourishment. It offers restoration. Unlike commercial breads that rely on fast-rising yeasts and chemical additives, true sourdough is born from a living culture of wild yeast and beneficial bacteria. This fermentation process not only gives sourdough its distinct flavor, but transforms the very nature of the bread. It breaks down the gluten, making it gentler on sensitive digestive systems, and reduces compounds like phytates that normally block mineral absorption. That means more calcium, magnesium, and iron actually make their way into the body, nutrients essential to strong bones, steady muscles, and healthy blood. For seniors, especially those dealing with sluggish digestion or inflammation related discomfort, sourdough is a gift. The good bacteria that develop during fermentation support gut health in meaningful ways, and a well balanced gut is now known to influence everything from immune function to mood stability to cognitive clarity. In a world where processed foods are often stripped of their life giving properties, sourdough stands apart, alive, healing, and whole. What makes sourdough even more remarkable is its ability to stabilize blood sugar. The fermentation process changes the structure of the carbohydrates, slowing down how quickly they're absorbed into the bloodstream. This is especially critical for seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or simply aiming to avoid the dangerous spikes and crashes that can lead to dizziness, fatigue, and impaired balance. And there's something deeply comforting in the ritual of sourdough. The scent of a slice warming in the toaster, the satisfying texture beneath a thin spread of avocado or almond butter. It's food that feels connected to the past, to the present, and to the body's quiet need for rhythm and balance. It reminds us that health isn't built only in clinics or through medications, but often in the slow, intentional choices we make at home. Sourdough bread, in its simplicity, reflects a powerful truth that what has been fermented and transformed can be a source of strength, not only for the body, but for the soul. And yet, even as we embrace these healing loaves, a warning remains. Not all breads serve us with kindness. Some, though familiar and beloved, quietly chip away at strength, circulation, and cognitive health. Could the very bread on your table be silently accelerating aging? Let's now turn to the breads every senior should avoid. 3 types of bread the elderly should avoid. 1. White bread, the silent thief of strength and stability. There's a quiet danger that sits on countless kitchen tables disguised in its simplicity. White bread, soft, familiar, often a comfort from childhood, has long been a staple in American diets. But for those in their senior years, this seemingly harmless loaf can become a silent thief, robbing the body of its resilience, draining energy, and slowly unraveling the very systems we rely on to stay strong, sharp, and mobile. Made from refined flour, white bread is stripped of its outer bran and nutrient-rich germ. What remains is starch, empty, fast-burning carbohydrates that offer little more than a fleeting burst of energy followed by a crash. With each slice, blood sugar levels surge unnaturally, triggering an inflammatory response that wears away at blood vessels, clouds the mind, and leaves the legs feeling heavier, the body slower, the spirit just a bit more fatigued. For seniors, these spikes and crashes are more than just inconvenient. They are dangerous. High glycemic foods like white bread accelerate the aging of arteries, leading to poor circulation, especially in the feet and legs. That means colder limbs, slower healing, and a growing risk of imbalance and falls. The very foundation of independence begins to shake when nourishment fails to support stability. But it doesn't stop there. The lack of fiber in white bread also disrupts digestion, often causing constipation, discomfort, and a sluggish gut, a system that, when weakened, impacts immunity, mental clarity, and even emotional well-being. White bread may feel easy to eat, but its toll on the body is slow and cumulative, like a gentle erosion of vitality that often goes unnoticed until the damage has already taken root. And perhaps most deceptively, white bread gives a false sense of fullness. It satisfies nothing at a cellular level. The body, still craving nutrients, often responds with more hunger, more snacking, more weight gain, all of which put further strain on aging joints, the heart, and the mind. What once felt like a comfort food becomes a contributor to chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline. It's time to see white bread not as a tradition, but as a habit worth replacing. Choosing better bread is not about giving something up, it's about reclaiming energy, clarity, and strength. But not all threats come wrapped in white and softness. Some wear bright colors, carry sweetness, and sit on bakery shelves like treats meant to brighten the day. Yet behind their cheerful appearance lies something even more harmful, sabotaging your health one bite at a time. The next bread on our list may surprise you. 2. Sweet bread and pastries, the deceptive delight that drains your vitality. There's a certain warmth that fills the room when a tray of sweet bread or pastries is laid on the table. The golden crusts, the soft centers, the aroma that stirs memories of holidays, grandchildren's visits, or mornings long past. These foods don't just tempt the palate, they speak to the heart. But beneath that comfort lies a sobering truth. For seniors, these sugary baked goods may be some of the most harmful choices we can make. Sweetbreads, cinnamon rolls, frosted buns, or filled pastries, these aren't just bread. They are confections packed with refined sugars, processed flours, and unhealthy fats that collide in the body with a force that is anything but gentle. The sugar alone sends blood glucose soaring, creating an immediate spike that feels energizing until it crashes, leaving fatigue, foggy thinking, and a sense of depletion. But the long term damage runs far deeper. As blood sugar spikes become routine, the body is forced into an inflammatory state. This inflammation doesn't shout, it whispers into the joints where pain begins to linger, into the nerves where sensitivity starts to dull, into the heart where plaque quietly forms, and into the brain where memory begins to blur. For seniors who already face declining metabolic efficiency, these effects don't take years. They can be felt in weeks or months of habitual indulgence. But perhaps the most dangerous ingredient in these sweet breads is the type we don't always see: hydrogenated oils and trans fats. These fats are not natural. They are industrial inventions that the body cannot recognize or process well. Instead of offering fuel, they embed themselves into cell membranes, disrupting the flow of nutrients and weakening the integrity of everything from muscle tissue to brain cells. Over time, they don't just slow aging, they accelerate it. And yet, the danger is easy to overlook because the package looks inviting, because a slice with coffee feels harmless, because it reminds us of easier times. But these indulgences come at a cost, robbing the body of strength, clarity, and balance that is so hard won in later years. It's not about guilt, it's about awareness, about honoring this stage of life with the same care and intentionality we once gave to raising families, building careers, and weathering life's storms. What we eat now matters more than ever, not for vanity, but for vitality. Still, the most misleading breads are not the ones that come glazed or dusted in sugar. Some sit quietly on shelves, labeled with healthy sounding names like multigrain or 12 grain, giving us a false sense of security. But what's hidden behind that label may be just as dangerous. Let's look closer at the final bread you should think twice before trusting. 3. Multigrain breads, the misleading loaf that pretends to protect you. Among the shelves of the modern grocery store, one label seems to offer reassurance: multigrain. It sounds healthy, even wise, suggesting variety, richness, and nutrition. For seniors seeking to make better choices, this kind of bread feels like the safer compromise between taste and health. But the truth, sadly, is far more complicated, because many multigrain breads are not what they seem. They are, in fact, clever disguises, offering the appearance of nourishment while quietly undermining the very health they claim to support. The problem lies in what most of these breads don't tell you. Just because a bread contains multiple grains doesn't mean those grains are whole. In many cases, the grains have been processed and stripped of their fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving behind little more than starchy filler. These breads may contain specks of flaxseed or oats sprinkled on top, but the core ingredient remains refined flour, behaving in the body much like white bread. Blood sugar spikes, energy crashes, inflammation slowly builds, and once again, the silent cost of a daily habit begins to accumulate. For seniors, these hidden effects can be especially dangerous. The lack of whole grain integrity means the body receives almost none of the metabolic benefits it desperately needs. No blood sugar control, no digestive support, no cardiovascular protection. Instead, the body is left fighting to stabilize itself against the flood of quick-burning carbohydrates and the inflammation that follows. And then there's the emotional side, the disappointment of believing we're doing something good for our health, only to find out we've been misled. It's frustrating, even disheartening, to realize that the foods we trust may be working against us. But this realization also brings power, because with knowledge comes the ability to choose differently, to read labels more carefully, to seek out bread that says 100% whole grain as the first ingredient, rather than being fooled by words like multigrain or made with whole wheat. The body in its later years is wise. It has carried us through decades of life, change, and resilience. But it is also more sensitive now, more reactive, and more in need of food that truly supports healing, not just appearance. Choosing bread should no longer be about habit or marketing. It should be about honesty and alignment with the life we still hope to live. And as we reflect on these lessons, a deeper truth emerges. The food we eat each day isn't just about health, it's about freedom. The freedom to walk confidently, to think clearly, to live independently, and ultimately to age with dignity, strength, and grace. The price you pay. As we grow older, every bite matters more than we realize. The food we once ate without thinking now holds the power to either support our bodies or slowly take away the strength, clarity, and independence we've worked a lifetime to preserve. And bread, though humble and familiar, plays a bigger role in that balance than most people ever imagine. The wrong bread doesn't just affect your waistline. It quietly influences your blood sugar, joint health, circulation, and even how steady you feel when you rise from a chair or take a walk. Over time, the cost adds up. That daily slice of white bread or sweet pastry might seem like a small pleasure, but its true price is paid slowly, in fatigue, in swelling knees, in forgetful moments, and in steps that feel less certain than they used to. But the good news is, the body still responds to change at any age. When you switch to breads that nourish rather than inflame, that stabilize rather than spike, you're not just eating differently, you're reclaiming control. You're choosing to support your heart, feed your brain, and keep your legs strong beneath you. That's not just nutrition, that's self-respect. Aging with dignity doesn't require expensive supplements or trendy diets. It starts with small, wise decisions, made consistently with care and intention. Choosing the right bread is one of those decisions. A slice may seem simple, but over weeks, months, and years, it becomes part of the foundation that either supports your freedom or slowly chips away at it. So the next time you reach for that loaf on the shelf, pause and ask yourself, is this feeding the life I want to keep living? Because in the end, what you eat is not just about today's hunger. It's about tomorrow's strength. You deserve to walk into your future with steadiness, clarity, and confidence. And it can all start with something as small and as powerful as the bread on your plate. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.